What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. AC today. We're working on the AC today for that bad boy right there, the Hellcat Charger. Let me show you what we're working with now. I've already done a lot of the prep work. I've done a lot of the, I don't know what you want to call it, engineering, I guess. I don't know, trial and error maybe, R&D, you know? But I got our AC system kind of laid out here for the most part. Everything else is already on the car. But these are a few of the lines that I had either had to cut to length, or I had to make, or put new fittings, or go get fittings, or go get all kinds of stuff like this guy here. This guy right here is a little bulk fitting, you want to call it, that goes through like any kind of firewall or any kind of sheet metal. You just basically have a threaded nut on the back side. But you guys can see I painted this thing up. I painted actually all these things up because Paul wanted to try to keep everything black. Murder was the case, so we got everything kind of nice and painted, you can say, more or less. I gotta take that tape off still, but so a lot of these lines and hoses, the way they come in the kit, they basically don't come for a Hellcat swap, let alone a custom Hellcat engineer or a custom application. So like I said, we had to do a lot of trial and error. Like I said, I had to go and actually get more hose, more fittings, and all that. And I even had to crimp my own lines. As far as the aluminum lines, I definitely didn't have to do too much, thank God. I did manipulate the crap out of one of these here. You guys can see this thing did not come anything like this. So I had to maneuver it, manipulate it, and get it to where it would work, and especially for our layout. So you guys can see here, like I said, it's all custom because of how everything sits and how much we got going on. So we got one line that's going to come from here all the way down and up, and it'll actually land right here where these two holes at. These are the two holes we drilled out for that bulk fitting and all that. And then we're going to have our line running from there all the way back to the compressor, and then from the compressor we got another hole here right there, and that's where that other line will go. I'll show you guys here in a bit, but let me go ahead and start throwing this stuff on so you guys can see and have a better idea, better visual on how this thing is going to work and kind of how I laid it out. Like I said, take this with a grain of salt because every application is going to be a little bit different, so it might not work for you what worked for me, but this is what I did. So let's go ahead and grab these things, hook everything up, and see what it looks like. Almost forgot to mention, I talked about that crimper. This is the line crimper that I use. I've used it in my different videos from the LS swaps and vintage air kits. So if you guys are interested, I will put this down in the description below. I'll put a link down to it down there. This thing works great. There's a bunch of different ones that you have to put in a vise, and you can't, they're not mobile basically. And the reason I like this one, because this is a handheld device. You put your dies in it depending on the size of the hose and line. You put it in here, you tighten this down, and it's a hydraulic crimper, so you just squeeze until that thing is nice and snug and it's tight. But this thing works amazing. It works just like they would in the factory, and I'll put it down in the description below. Not too shabby, boys, not too shabby. It is in, you guys. So this is actually, this fitting right here, believe it or not, is actually a bulkhead fitting with a crimp style on. I really like this thing because it has the bulkhead built into it, and you just put it through, hook up your other line to that, and then hook it up to there. I still got to tighten that one here. This is the only one I got left to tighten, this guy here, but everything else is good. Look, we got the service knobs out and everything, high side, low side, so you can get them serviced. This bottom one over here for the compressor, I got it right underneath the fan, so you guys can't see it there. And then it comes up, and then it lands up top right there. And then that bottom one, that one actually is the one, this little small hose that I showed you guys earlier. That's the one that actually connects to this guy here. So that actually goes down in, and then that little black hose, the little short guy, that's the one that hooks up to this bulkhead here, the lower one here. And it came out really nice, guys. I'm very happy with it. Obviously that one there hooks up to the condenser, then that one hooks up to the top of the condenser, that one goes all the way back down. and into radiator support and so on. But oh, let me show you guys the side where it's actually going into the firewall and to back to the heater box. So that's the bulkhead, right, that we put through the side of the fender there. Those lines are getting nice and tucked, routed up top where they're out of the way, and then in through the side of the cowl here into the heater box on the inside, the evap box, vintage air box, whatever you guys want to call it. Now, I want to say this is I totally forgot to tell you guys about this when I did the heater. When I did the heater install in here, I forgot to put the valve in place. There's a heater valve from Vintage Air that you have to put in line, and I totally forgot about it. But it wasn't a big deal because we put it in just now. I'll show you guys. So keep that in mind when you guys are doing these heater lines. So under here is that valve. Ow, oh, that hurts. Okay, so you guys remember that video with the heater line install? Now all I did was cut that hose and then put that little black valve in line. You see that little black valve underneath there? That's all it is. And then you got that wire that's going to connect to the Vintage Air harness. But keep that in mind, guys. You're going to have to put that valve in line inside the heater line. And it's going to be basically the one that's coming from the motor into the evap box. Keep that in mind. Direction is very important. Make sure you get that right. If you guys need more info, go back and check out that video with the heater lines as far as directional goes. But that's pretty much good to go as far as our Vintage Air kit, other than obviously some wiring and then all the ducts that come off of this thing for the dash. But let me know what you guys think. I'm happy with the setup. It is very, very time consuming and kind of a pain in the butt to try to figure out the best way to route this stuff, because like I said, this is all custom with the Hellcat swap and a charger and everything else like that. But I like the way it looks. It looks good. It works. It's serviceable. It's easy to get to. It's not too bad. I dig it, y'all. I dig it. Let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the comments below. One other thing, guys, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. I see you guys watching, and hit the like button and hit the bell for notification. And you guys already know, stay wrenching.